It's episode 294 of Fine Music Today. I'm pleasantly surprised because Fred has discovered a way to get better reception. Let's give it a real test right now. Go ahead, Fred.
Okay, this week there's a couple of albums. Both of them are cover albums. The first one's by Juliana Hatfield. Juliana Hatfield sings ELO. Very
Oh,
surprising, but she's been a very surprising artist. In the past, she did two other cover albums, one on the Police and the other one on Olivia Newton-John. And both were received with pretty good reviews, as well as this one. There's no synthesizers on this album, so that makes the album very interesting. She plays all the guitars and some piano on it. The production's great, and sometimes she uses the same arrangements, and other times she changes it a bit and speeds up the pace or slows it down. Sometimes we hear some of the more well-known songs like Telephone Line and Don't Bring Me Down. She blends in her double tracks, her harmonies, which really elevates these songs, but she also picks out some tunes that are not as well known, such as From the End of the World and Sweet as the Night. It really is a charming album. It's great, has a great passion to it. She pulls it off very well, and the music shines throughout the whole album. I would recommend this.
can I quickly
ELO
ask
fans
a
or Hatfield fans. She
quick
does a
question?
great
I'm
job.
dying to ask. May I ask you a question, sir, real quick?
Yeah.
Is it better than ELO?
Is it better? It's two different animals.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
different.
There, she does some songs that are almost exactly the same arrangement, but without the synthesizers. And listening to her voice carries the album into another direction.
You know, Queen used to brag about on their albums not having any synthesizers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just had to throw that in. Let's continue.
Okay, the second cover album is by Cat Power. Her new album
Oh, yeah.
is Cat Power Sings Dylan, the 1966 Royal Albert Hall concert. Now, this is the famous concert where Dylan went to England and did half acoustic and then came back electric, and there was very high tension and an audience that didn't appreciate his music at all. In fact, they were screaming and yelling, and he told his band, which was the band, to play louder and faster.
Yeah.
And someone yelled out Judas during one of the
Yeah.
songs.
Traitor.
Judas.
But as it turned out, this album originally was not recorded at Albert Hall. It was recorded somewhere else in London. The bootleg's out, and I think there's even a film I saw of this concert.
Gotta be.
But Cat
I feel like
Power,
I've seen
whose
it.
real name is Chan Marshall, follows the music very faithfully, the whole concert from beginning to end. The performance is live, and though she doesn't change the arrangements much, it's her husky vocals that makes this an enduring album. She has a passion for Dylan's songs, and it comes across well. I would say, even like Hatfield, she just follows her muse, and her fans follow her.
I'm
And
one of
this
her fans.
performance, even though a live performance, it comes across endearing, and it's her warm, intimate vocals that make this acoustic versions work. And then she turns into electric, brings out the band, and they rock out. She goes headstrong into the electric arrangements, and she dives right into the poetic expression very well. She brings out the shining parts of Dylan's lyrics, and it's done with sincerity, and it's done with you feel a great heart behind her singing and her tension and her emotions. So I would recommend this if you're a Dylan fan or a Cat Power fan.
Well, being a Cat Power fan, I did see that this was a new release. I hadn't checked it out yet. So now I really got to check it out because
Yeah, it's a very, like other Dylan tribute albums, she takes a concert that he did and does it from beginning to end, the whole concert.
Interesting concept.
Exactly the way he did it.
Yeah, were you a Cat Power fan before?
Yeah, I've had some of her albums. She's done from electronic to soul music to.
Yeah, for me it started with Cherokee. You know that song?
Oh no!
You got to check it out. That's one of her very best songs. And she's got many good songs, but she also, I couldn't help but notice she had a little substance abuse problem there, going on stage high. Kind of like Alvin Lee used to do with 10 Years After. So I was concerned about her. Yeah. So I guess she got through it. If she can do this. She had a little rough sailing there for a while, I heard. But the music's great. I guess there's not much more to say except check it out. Really, that's it. Yep. Episode 294. Go check out Juliana Hatfield Sings ELO. My curiosity is definitely piqued because I grew up with ELO. The very first concert I ever saw in 1976 was ELO at Universal Amphitheater.
I saw them. I wish I would have been able to see them when Roy Wood was with them.
Oh, I was just thinking about that too. Roy Wood and Wizard. That's a great band.
Yeah, he was on the first album, and I guess Lynn had a vision and
different visions. Yeah,
with Woods. But I have a couple of Roy Woods. I had them. Roy Wood's Wizard. He had a group called Roy Wood's Wizard.
Yeah, they were more like glam rock.
Yeah.
A little twisted though.
Twisted glam rock. Like I wish it was Christmas every day. That song?
I love that song.
Yeah. It's a great video with it. Yeah.
Angel Fingers, I think, is another song on there.
So
kind of like a parody of a doo-wop thing.
So what do you think of the Stones album?
I haven't heard the whole thing, but I like what I've heard.
We're going into commercial territory here. Yeah, I got the Stones album too. I got the Beatles one too. Did you get the Beatles one too?
Yeah.
No? Well, here's the deal. Okay, I'll try to make it very fast. Right? We all know that the Stones had a modern producer who kind of youthified the sound, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The Beatles, on the other hand, right, the son of George Martin, Giles Martin, has been doing remixes with these Beatles albums for some time now. And in order to do the Red and the Blue albums, well, he had to do some remixes. For the Red album, everything's remixed because they just have not been re-released. And for the Blue album, many of the remixes have already been done, but the ones that weren't on those albums, like the singles, had to be remixed. And Giles, he did some alterations. He did some alterations, and probably the one that everybody's screaming about the most is what he did to I Am the Walrus. Have you heard about this?
No, I'll have to look that up.
Definitely check it out. Go side by side, do a side-by-side comparison of that one, and then do another one of Revolution. The single Revolution, not the one on the White Album.
Right.
And compare your original George Martin mix with the new Giles Martin mix, and report back to me, please, if you see any difference. Because you will. It's everything to keep me from letting the cat out of the bag right this very moment. I mean, there's so many videos on YouTube right now that have already let that cat out. Should I let the cat out right now?
Go ahead.
Okay. Like for I Am the Walrus, the big controversy is the last part of the song where the special effects come in, like they had tuned into King Lear production on the radio live, remember? And so what Giles did, he brought up the sound effects big, brought them up big. They overtake the song at the end. So
Oh,
it feels more avant-garde. It's a more avant-garde song. Everything is more shocking. And
Was
I
that on
like
the
it.
original? Was that part of the original studio recording?
Yeah, yeah. And here's the thing. In the original studio recording, it wasn't turned up as much.
Okay.
It was there, but it wasn't turned up as much.
Yeah, I get it.
But now it kind of, at the very end, it drowns everything else out.
Yeah.
So that anyone who
Kind
just
of a
knows
day
that
in the life.
song,
wow.
Day
Wow.
of the life sort of thing where they have the big interlude there.
well, yeah, but that hasn't been messed with.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
And you know, I brought up Revolution because it's the one that disturbs me the most, the change he made. If you are a devotee of that song, Revolution, you know that
Love
the
that song.
song begins with a very important shriek by John Lennon.
yeah.
It's gone.
Oh, wow.
What did Giles do? You know what he's doing? I know what he's doing. He's trying to make these palatable to modern listeners. Modern
Oh,
listeners who want drum and bass, heavy drum and bass. Every song's got the heavy drum and bass. I mean, you can hear the wood in Ringo sticks. That's how
Wow.
powerful it is. Very sharp, very deep. The bass is really up. Paul, I'm sure, is very delighted. But
wow.
he toned down John a bit.
Huh.
He softened him up.
Wow.
Not sure it was the right thing to do, but at least you can say, well, it's a different mix. This is the 2023 mix. You know, if you want the
Yeah,
original, you can go
yeah.
back to the George Martin production and compare. And it is interesting. I found it interesting to compare the nuanced differences. Like number one for the Red Album, all that early 62, 66 stuff is all mixed now in stereo, and you got the vocals in the center. Not like it used to be mainly vocals on one channel and the music on the
Yeah,
other channel. I
yeah.
remember that. So that, I guess, would be an improvement to modern ears because they would be shocked to hear just vocals on one channel and music on the other channel. What's this? So it's been made palatable to the young,
Interesting.
right? It's got more bass and it's powerful. And Ringo's drumming was powerful to begin with.
Yeah, yeah.
Really was. But on these early songs, he's amazing. They
Underrated.
left out. There's one last thing I'll
Underrated.
say, since this is falling into review. Oh, my biggest beef of all. They added tracks to both of these albums, to the Red and the Blue albums, right? They originally had maybe 50 songs, maybe I think it was 43 or 50 songs. So they've added 21 songs. There's now 75 songs combined on the Red and
Wow.
Blue album. So they added
Wow.
songs, and they left out one of my favorite Beatles songs. I can't believe they left it out. You know which one? They left out Rain.
Oh,
Huh.
How can they leave out Rain and put in I'm Only Sleeping instead? Or
wow. Rain was a big single
Ah!
hit.
Okay.
That was
Thank you for
crazy.
letting me
Wow.
vent. I had to vent. That's my official review.
Wow.
Oh, but the Sonics are amazing. I could see how it would turn
Check it
young
out.
people onto the Beatles. It would. It's just phenomenal. The songwriting, you know, the Beatles are such legends. The songs are
Yeah.
so groundbreaking.
You can hear them on the radio today, and they don't sound like they came out 50 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, because there's remixes now. One of my favorite things from the Red album, well, I should say one song, not from the Red album, but I mean, everybody knows the initial note in A Hard Day's Night, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gal changed it a little.
Oh no.
It's a little more
Jeez.
flat now. It's not as. I'm a little disappointed about that.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I've said too much. We got to stop this. I'm stopping it. Thank you, man. If everybody remembers Julian Hatfield, Cat Power, check him out. I will, because that boomer
Okay.
connection. Okay.
Hey,
And
Don,
you're.
I've been
Yes, yes, sir.
visiting Steve Goldman, who's in a rehab.
Oh yeah, but let's. I'm gonna end the episode. Let me do that.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
still
okay.
on. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know.